Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're talking about the inspired insights of Dr. David W. Tanton in his groundbreaking book, A Drug-Free Approach to Healthcare. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. A world without drugs? Is that even possible? Well, Dr. Tanton definitely does. Dr. Tanton argues that disease isn't an inevitable part of aging. Instead, it's often the result of an unhealthy body, something we can control. He believes that if we learn the rules of health and respect our bodies, they can efficiently manage the details without us stressing over every little level and number. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical, and that's okay. Dr. Tanton encourages us to question his claims, even suggesting prayer for discernment to recognize the truth. He takes his responsibility to humanity seriously, relying on daily prayer and extensive research to find answers. But Dr. Tanton isn't alone in his thinking. He quotes Hippocrates, the father of medicine, who said, "Let your food be your medicine." This was nearly 2,500 years ago, and the idea is just as relevant today. You can't just suppress symptoms with drugs and expect to maintain health while eating processed foods devoid of nutrients. Our lifestyle and dietary habits have a far greater impact on our health than our genetic inheritance. Think about it. Children born of the same parents often have vastly different health outcomes, which is more a reflection of their diet and lifestyle than their DNA. Dr. Tanton also points out that doctors are often limited by their training. Most are taught to treat symptoms with drugs rather than using natural nutrients for prevention. It's not that they don't care, Dr. Tanton argues. It's just what they were taught. Imagine this. If a doctor chooses to use a natural therapy, they could save a life but risk losing their license. On the other hand, if a patient dies from an FDA-approved drug, it's considered acceptable. Something seems off here, doesn't it? Dr. Tanton believes that prevention is the best medicine. He argues that we should focus on avoiding disease rather than just treating it when it appears. He criticizes the current system where doctors often spend only 10 minutes with patients, which is profitable but not necessarily in the best interest of the patient's health. Natural practitioners, on the other hand, typically spend an hour with patients on their first visit and 30 minutes on follow-ups. This approach may not be as profitable, but it's more effective. The same goes for natural supplements versus drugs. While natural ingredients may cost more, they sell for far less than prescription drugs. Dr. Tanton believes that many doctors are unaware of the serious implications of the drugs they prescribe. Drug commercials imply that doctors are authorities with all the answers, but the reality is that doctors are often too busy to research or evaluate the drugs they prescribe. He argues that natural medicine is a true science because the ingredients were created by a higher power who is concerned with our welfare, not profit. Natural foods are far more complex than any lab-produced drug, and our bodies were designed to recognize and utilize them. Dr. Tanton emphasizes that our bodies know exactly what they're doing. Our job is to provide the resources they need, not to override their functions with drugs. He criticizes modern medicine for assuming our bodies have design flaws that need to be suppressed with high-tech drugs. He believes that the accumulation of toxins and inadequate nutrient supply are the primary contributors to unhealthy cells, which are the root cause of most diseases. Dr. Tanton stresses the importance of detoxification and providing our bodies with the nutrients they need to function optimally. He also highlights the unfair advantage drug manufacturers have over natural solutions. Insurance companies often cover expensive drugs but not nutritional supplements, even when they're crucial for health. This creates a financial barrier for those who prefer healthier solutions. Dr. Tanton believes that anyone who evaluates the health concerns associated with their medications would be motivated to phase them out. He argues that most people are unaware of viable alternatives and that dependency on these drugs is unnecessary and contributes to disease. He aims to show us how to break free from this cycle. He believes that self-evaluation of common conditions like depression, pain, and blood pressure is possible, and that these conditions can be resolved without drugs. Dr. Tanton also addresses the issue of over-medication, especially in children. He believes that many children are needlessly placed on dangerous drugs, often due to underlying issues like food allergies that are rarely considered. He emphasizes the importance of addressing the root causes of health issues, rather than just treating symptoms with drugs. He believes that a slight diet modification can often resolve the same problems that children are being medicated for. Dr. Tanton warns that the long-term effects of these drugs on children are concerning. He argues that antidepressants like Zoloft and Prozac can create imbalances in the brain, leading to worse depression and mood swings. He believes that the pharmaceutical industry's influence on healthcare is a major problem. They place individuals in key positions to ensure that only their drugs are covered by insurance, while natural supplements are excluded. Dr. Tanton argues that the excessive and unnecessary use of drugs is a serious issue, often leading to a domino effect where drugs are prescribed to treat side effects of other drugs. He believes that the best solution is to say no to a lifetime of drug dependence and explore the better options available that don't require a prescription. Dr. Tanton concludes by emphasizing that the excessive use of drugs is a more serious problem than illegal drugs due to their extensive use. He believes that drugs are seldom necessary and that there are natural solutions for most health issues. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of BrightLearn. I hope this conversation has inspired you to think differently about your health and consider the possibilities of a drug-free approach. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below. Until next time, stay curious, stay healthy, and remember, you have the power to take control of your health. This has been a BrightLearn video from BrightLearn.ai on the book A Drug-Free Approach to Healthcare by Dr. David W. Tanton. Visit BrightLearn.ai for more fascinating videos like this one, and naturalnews.com for full editorial coverage and breaking news on critical stories that keep you informed and aware of what's really going on.